All right. Well, welcome to the Siggos, to the pod. Bob and Weave, Rob and Steve, Nick and E, on this special eve.
Ooh, there it is.
Now you do one.
I sent you a good one earlier. Let's see. It's roses are red, the mountains are blue. I'm ready to booze. Hope you are too.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Nice.
Okay, are the mountains still blue? Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of building up to this beer taste test. We talked about this a few podcasts ago. To all of our listener out there, we talked about this on a few podcasts ago. we said, well, you said you could taste the difference between cans and bottles, and
Yeah.
I just don't believe that's true. I think you can taste the difference between the metal on your lips and the glass on your lips. I don't think the beer itself tastes any different.
Right. And I agree. I agree with that, but I kind of wanted to test it to see if like if you could taste the leach, of the metal or the glass. I guess glass doesn't leach, but does metal leach into the beer taste?
But wait a second. Then the test should include 3 separate testing, with,
On draft as the third.
No. Always bottle and can. But if you do it only once, there is a 50% chance that it's just luck that you got it right. But if you get it right 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3,
okay.
it's
So I think the thing that takes out, you have to be honest. If you can't taste the difference, you have to say you can't taste the difference. I think that's the kicker.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is going to happen. But we're also going to have four different tasters. And so if we get 100%, you can taste the difference. Taste the rainbow.
4 different tasters.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, 4 different contestants.
What's the prize?
Bragging rights.
And a keg?
And a free Coors Light.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get sponsored by Coors Light and send you some fresh gear. Oh, we should have got our jerseys on.
Yeah.
Oh, should we pause the recording?
We might go grab those when we grab the beer.
I don't think so, because that's just a lot more pressure if we get it wrong.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I don't like the taste of draft, but I like the taste of bottle the best. And then can is okay, there's a can.
Yeah. Then
it's all the
same.
It's
all about the result, really the journey. Yeah.
It'll get you drunk.
Should we pour the first?
Yeah, let's do it. We got Miller Lite bottles too if we want to celebrate celebratory beer at the end.
That's the winning beer. Is it a High Life?
No, just a regular ML Smooth. Just the rate.
Is it ML Smooth?
Miller Lite. It's so funny.
By the way, did you find out? Did you look at Vaughn's for the PBR bottles?
Oh no, I didn't. I forgot to look.
Oh, I didn't know they had
next time. The only place I've ever seen it is at the Vaughn's, all the Vaughn's in San Diego. So I bet you they have them at your Vaughn's too.
Got a Vaughn's app.
Yeah. Search PBR bottle. That app. Oh man. Elena got me a PBR or a tank top for July 4th last year, so I've been rocking that to mow the grass.
I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Cans only.
Dang.
Show proof.
I don't think you can see my phone.
Yeah.
There it is. Cans only.
Yep.
We got tall boys though.
Dang. $2.50. That's a steal.
PBR.
That is a good deal. $2.50 for a tall can.
Well, it's right there with Keystone Light and Busch Light and.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get this going because we're anxious to have a beer, and then we can just sip them for the rest of the sode. So, do you want to go do the first round?
Ladies first or guys first?
I think we said guys first.
Okay.
Save the best for last.
How full do you want it? Just a sip?
I would say half full.
Half full. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do half. I'm gonna drink the whole thing. I'm gonna do the taste test, but I'm gonna drink them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go half. Can you insert the Jeopardy music here?
Dude, I'm sure I could.
Oh, perfect. There's a YouTube video of 15 minutes of the Jeopardy song.
Yeah, it was probably on CapCut.
How's that audio quality?
It's not that bad, honestly. That would be way worse.
This is the fire part of the song right here, dude. Is that a flute, a sax, or an oboe? What is that?
A trumpet, for sure. It's got to be a trumpet. Boom.
Yeah, you're right.
What was that? So that song reminds me of Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Do you know what scene I'm talking about?
One has way more head than the other.
Which scene? Oh, look at that, Colts glasses.
Oh yeah. So the scene is he's eating a bunch of food, and it's like he's at the company luncheon, and he ate like I don't know everything that was there, and they're playing the and at the end you go boom boom, and that's when he takes his last bite of pudding, and that's what I think of that song. All right, so
Watch
we
that
got
movie. All right, you guys got him.
Our differentiator is a color. We have two stickies, one yellow and one blue. I saw you had numbers, right?
Yeah.
Those look pretty similar. All right. Steve, you go first. Give me your analysis.
All right.
Is there a visual difference? You can put them down.
I don't see any visual difference. I mean, maybe a little bit more head in the number one.
Yeah, I think I got more head in my yellow. My yellow one is more head, but I don't know what that means.
The
one is also more carbonated. I noticed.
How are the talons? Does it have good legs?
Yeah. Did you pour this out of the oh shoot, what's the thing called where you aerate the wine? The decanter.
Did you aerate this beer first?
Tell us what notes you would taste.
All right, that's number one. Now I get to taste the other one before I guess.
Yeah, you get to do. I mean, I would say what your guess is right now, but you still get to submit a final answer afterwards.
I think that one's the bottle.
I think he's skewed by the glasses.
Yeah, and this one's the can. Final
You're
answer.
Locked in?
Yeah,
okay.
Bottle and can 1 and 2.
Okay, well, before we get the answer, I'm going to try mine. So my yellow tab, that one was more foamy. If I had to guess, I would guess that the can holds air better, carbonation better. So I'm going to guess yellow can before I even sip.
That was funny.
Tastes like a beer.
You guys are such an expert.
Does your mustache have like extra sensory, like olfactory type?
All the nerve endings in there. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Let me dunk it real quick.
Gross.
You know what? This one, maybe it held the carbonation in the liquid more on the blue because it's definitely got more carbonation when I drink it.
So what's your guess?
And it's still kind of fizzing, and the yellow has died. If you told me these were both Bud Light, I would have no idea. Like, I would say sure, yeah. I'll go. Since the blue had more foam during the sip, I'm going to go with blue is the can, yellow is the glass bottle. Final answer. Suck it, Trebek.
Right,
Who
that's
wants
the
to?
verdict.
Yeah.
Who
So,
go?
remind us of your answer, Steven.
1 and 2.
Bottle can 1 and 2.
No, you said number 1 was the can, and number 2 was the bottle.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
First, number 1 bottle.
This is a can.
Number 2
And now
can.
you're saying,
You're right.
Remember, it's recorded too. So.
who is a can?
You're
All right,
right.
we'll go. So you said 1 was the bottle, 2 was the can,
Yeah.
and what's the correct answer?
The opposite.
Damn it.
Oh. All right, and then so I said blue was the can, yellow was the bottle.
The opposite.
We both got it wrong.
Wow.
So my visual.
You were right. Yeah.
She took
Look
a
what she
picture.
did.
Nice.
In
Evidence.
in case he was like, I am right and you are wrong. I'm like,
That's smart. That's smart.
I just left them how I poured them.
You could take him to court with that.
Yeah.
Like,
Hard evidence.
all right. Well, there's only one thing to do with these now.
Bottoms up. Cheers.
We gotta
Yeah.
empty them for the girls to go about it.
Cheers.
cheers.
Yeah, you're right. We better just finish it now.
It's just water.
Like chug. Swallowing so hard.
People listening on Spotify just hear a bunch of gulp, gulp,
Blink,
gulp.
blink. It's the sound
sorry.
of satisfaction.
Chugging
Person
beer.
listening on Spotify.
You have to do subtitles for them.
Yeah.
Currently chugging beer.
We're all Coltsed out over here. Got Colts coasters, Colts those.
Dang.
I want my Colts hat.
Did you show him these ones?
Mm-mm.
Just a supporter.
Free
is that?
advertisement right here.
This is my
Burps.
new favorite brewery.
Hey.
Ah, Birch Brewing.
Nice.
I think they're from
All right.
California, actually.
So the boys were 100% wrong.
Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We were 100%. That's all I heard.
Let's leave it at that.
Wrong. Okay,
You think you can do it?
go fetch me a beer.
All right.
Or 2. Elena, I like your hair. Nice and long. It's cute.
Thank you. Yeah, the natural color going on.
Yeah.
Half of them are white. Gray.
Looks nice. I want long hair. I cut mine. Okay, we're going to be in the hot seat. Ready?
Yeah, I mean, I am no expert in beer. So
I know. Me either.
I am actually surprised that both of them got them wrong.
I know. Rob had the
Exactly.
idea visually, but I guess when you taste it, it's different. Because he was right when he said the foamier one was the can. So you better wait then, Rob.
You good?
Steve is back. Hi, Nova. Come say hi. Say hi, Nova.
Nova.
Oh. Wait.
That's where he was.
Did,
All right. Where do you want these? Right here?
did you mix them up?
What do you mean mix them up?
Did
I
you
know-
put
I
more
know
head
which
on
one's which.
purpose?
I know. I just dumped them both in there.
Like both beer, a little bit of both.
I
in the
know,
same
they're
cup.
cheating.
Just to
Should've got
say
the
that we got
receipts.
it wrong too.
Should have got the receipts like Elena.
I know.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Sure, I'll try. So, this is number 1. I taste some almond and smoked apple.
Smoked apple, wrong beer.
Number 2. I'll go number 2 is the can, and number 1 is the bottle.
Give us your reasoning. Why?
Honestly, I can't do shoot. I just went ahead and say it.
What?
Do you want to go first and taste the beer? and then I'll say my reasons.
Okay.
All right.
So this is my yellow one, and it looks like no head, a little bit fizzy. This one is blue, has a little bit of head. Ew.
She doesn't like it.
I think yellow. Wait, I gotta do another taste. We need something to cleanse the palate.
Yeah, right.
Shot of vodka.
I think yellow is the can and blue is the bottle.
Final answer, locked in.
Final answer. Even though this one had more head, so I think it's the can, but it tastes better. I like this one.
All right, so you said,
Blue is
that's
the
we
bottle.
didn't do that one. Which one do you like better? Forget everything else.
Blue.
You like blue. You think it's a better beer, and you think
It's the same beer, but it just has a different
and you think that's
taste.
the bottle.
Yeah.
All right, you're wrong.
Okay.
The blue is the can.
Yeah, because of the foam. I mean, visually, I should have guessed.
All right,
but-
Elena, Steven, what's
I
the
said
verdict?
2 is the can and 1 is the bottle. So
2 is the can and 1 is the bottle. Well, the survey says Elena's correct.
Yeah, we got a winner.
Only one.
Hole in one.
That's amazing.
Only one with a good palate.
Wow.
Well, I've only been drinking out of the cans lately. So.
Yeah, so I did notice that.
He put his
Yeah, I put my thing on it. I did notice that when I try to dump them in evenly at the exact same time, both right down the center, and the can had a lot more carbonation in it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So
I know
think
that's why I picked it.
I think that,
Yeah.
and when I had mine, like visually, the can had more head to it.
Yeah. No,
So
this is a can.
Yeah.
Oh, more carbonation.
So I think the can holds carbonation better than a bottle does. And I'm sure that's something to do with the process.
If I can say my thought, I don't know how, like, I'm probably wrong and I'm just saying bullshit. But because I can taste a slightly, like, difference, because since the beer from the can makes a lot of bubble, there is less carbonation in the actual beer. And I don't like carbonation. So I like the bottle less because I feel like it's more carbonated. Because there wasn't the foam, the bubble didn't come up, so there is more carbonation inside the beer, which gives it a taste, I don't know, the feeling of being more carbonated. And I don't like it. And maybe I'm just full of shit, I don't know. But.
No, I think I've heard this argument before, like you're supposed to dump your beer straight down the center and get the carbonation out of it because it's supposed to like maintain the flavor. It's not part of the beer flavor, especially with like a Guinness. And so stuff like that. But like I kind of like the carbonation feeling of drinking a carbonated drink and then, ripping a good burp afterwards,
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe that's the American in us. Like,
So dumb question too. Like there's a difference in canning vegetables in a can versus canning vegetables in like a glass jar. It's like different amounts of pressure, right? So do you think that when they put beer in a can, it's got to be more pressurized than in a bottle for some reason?
I would think that it would be more dangerous to overpressurize a glass bottle because if that explodes, it could really hurt somebody versus a can, it would just be air pressure. So I would think that they would intentionally, but on the other hand, glass could probably withhold more air pressure than a can could.
That's wild you say that. I have a buddy who was driving up the mountain with a bottle of wine in the cup holder. It was closed, but they had just bought it. And as they went up, it something with the pressure and the bottle just exploded and it cut his face.
Wow.
Oh no.
So I think you're totally right that that the glass can't stand as much pressure as the metal. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think I don't think that it's that it can't withhold it. I think it's more dangerous to put
Fragile.
more pressure into it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel you. Elena's fact checking me.
Yeah, I'm just researching.
This is the life we live.
We don't do fact checking here. If we fact checked everything, we'd have nothing to talk about.
I'm always just making these wild claims, and then she's just like in the background, just like,
Yeah, whenever we get like 3 or more viewers, then then our comment section will blow up and be like, you guys are idiots.
Yeah.
This is how it works.
I don't think you can wear this now. You got it wrong.
Because I got it wrong? I mean, okay, so I just guessed wrong. I should have done what you did where you said which one you like more.
I like the can more.
Yeah, I think I like the can more too because I like the fizz.
Yeah. I definitely like a good burp, but I prefer drinking more in between the burps than like feeling so bloated. I hate feeling bloated.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
maybe that's what I like about the bottle.
I don't like the bubbles for the burp. I think that's a fun side effect, but but yeah. All right. Well, so our hypothesis has been disproven because only 25% of us guessed correctly. We can't really tell the difference between a bottle and a can. I bet we could tell the difference between a draft and a bottle or a can.
Yeah,
though.
I don't like draft.
Yeah, what is it about draft that makes it taste different? Is it compressed with a different type of gas?
Well, I think it's not compressed when it's delivered, and then you compress it with air as you go. So I think it's continuously compressed up until you get it served.
It's not good.
Mm.
And I think that changes. I think that changes the carbonation levels of it.
And what do you not like about drafts, Nicole? Can you put your finger on it?
I think it does kind of taste flat compared to
Interesting.
other beer, other like cans or bottles. Yeah, I don't know. It's just no, I can't put my finger on it, but
I can see that. Yeah, because I can't drink a can of Coors Light as fast as I can drink a draft of Coors Light.
yeah,
Are you sure? We should.
Yeah.
It.
I don't know if that's.
I'm not a chugger. I'm not.
Yeah,
a
we should test that one next.
chugger.
How fast could you chug 16 ounces of beer?
And I don't necessarily mean chugging. I mean like a can. When I'm drinking, 12 Coors Lights, it takes me like 45 minutes to finish a can. But a draft, I can finish it in like 15 minutes.
I thought it was like 45 minutes to finish 12 Coors Light.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you this story, Stephen, about when White Claws first came out. I didn't believe that they actually had alcohol in them. I thought it was just like it said 4.5, but it was like it's got to be 1%. This thing doesn't taste like alcohol. And so Nicole and our other couple friend Amber went out to a concert. So me and Kevin, her then fiance or boyfriend, we hung out. It was our first time hanging out, so it was kind of weird. So I was like, I was with him, and I was like, I'm gonna do a scientific experiment. I'm gonna drink 12 of these suckers and see what happens, because I don't think I'm gonna get drunk. And so by the time they got back, I had drank 11 of them.
Shotgunned one.
And shotgunned one.
Shotgunned the White Claw.
And I was pretty drunk. And I was like, it was time to go home. And I was like, well, I'm at 11. I can't say I had 11 White Claws. So I had the 12th one.
But it didn't hit you until like the 9th or 10th. You said.
Yeah, no, because I was putting them down pretty quick because we only had like 2 or 3 hours or something. And I was sober until like the 8th or 9th White Claw. And then I was like, oh, maybe I am kind of drunk. And then like the 10th one hit and it was all over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I came home from a concert and he's like, you're driving home. And I'm like, what happened here? Can you even move?
Oh, man.
Yeah, but I like carbonation in beer, but like White Claws, I don't like seltzer waters or anything like that.
I like them because what Steven's talking about, they make me a lot less bloated. And I think like drinking 12 beers, like you get really tired of the taste, like taste bud fatigue. And so with White Claws, you can have like 2 black cherries, 1 pineapple, and like.
How would that make you less bloated? They're more carbonated, I feel.
Couldn't tell you.
That's why I don't like them, because they taste more carbonated.
I feel like there's fewer carbs though, so it's like because the beer, it's not only the carbonation, but it's also
like barley and wheat,
carbs. Yeah, it's like eating a freaking loaf of bread when you drink 12 Coors Lights. But yeah.
There's one more thing I wanted to say about the drafts. I think one thing that's can be really good about drafts is like if they have the cooling tubes that go to the draft. I think that's a big game changer because that's when you get like the coldest, crispest beer. Yeah. But like I have not worked at a bar where we had those. They were just plastic tubes that went up there.
Yeah, that's insane. The Spaghetti Factory in San Diego has like the ice on the bar. Have you seen that?
No.
They pour water.
So it keeps the bar cool. The bar itself?
The bar itself has like a river built into it. And they pour new water into it every day, and the water freezes like an ice hockey rink. It's like a stripe down the middle of the bar, and wide enough for you to put your beer on
to keep it cold. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you put your beer on it, and your beer stays ice cold to the last drop. So if you ever want pasta and beer, go to the old Spaghetti Factory.
You said it in San Diego.
I know. We should plan a trip to San Diego.
Yeah.
Is it good spaghetti?
No.
It's spaghetti. No, it's not a spaghetti from Italy.
It's spaghetti.
Spaghetti, yeah. Spaghetti and meatballs.
Can I scoot over a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, good deal. I think this is going to be our most popular episode yet. We should do it with Miller Lite. And then we should start, and then the real meat and potatoes. We'll probably have like 2 listeners, and we should do Miller Lite versus Coors Light versus Bud Light.
Oh,
that's what I was saying.
No, so they do this thing on TikTok.
Sodas.
With sodas, and so they have a shoebox, and in the shoebox they have like the bottles of what it's supposed to be, and you have to match it up correctly with the bottles. No,
but and you taste it. Coke, cherry Coke, Diet Coke, like. Yeah. All the different Cokes or all the different 7-Ups or whatever you choose to do. You should do that with light beers.
I'm trying to think how we would do that.
Coors Light, Miller Lite.
We can't do that on the pod though because I can see myself. So we'd have to like I guess if I minimize, I could do it like this and you guys can still see me and I just minimize myself.
You could put Post-its on the monitor over your own square too.
Yeah.
Or we could just put them like we did today in glasses, and you just drink from the glasses.
But the fun part is that you see people make the decision of like, oh, I think this one's Coke, but it's Pepsi, and then they switch it, and it's like, oh, you had it right, but you moved it. That's the fun part.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could film it on your phone and add it in, can you?
Yeah, it wouldn't be live, though.
Oh.
All right. Well,
next adventure.
Next one will be testing different types of beer if we can tell a difference.
We couldn't even tell, of course.
And Elena, if you get a Peroni wrong, we're taking away your residential card.
Oh my God, I think
your visa.
Then I don't like Peroni.
I don't. Only the American white people like Peronis.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I like it. It's just it's like what I consider an Italian beer.
No.
Yeah, I mean it's probably the most famous one.
What would you like if you said? What is like a good Italian beer that most people would know?
I can tell you from firsthand experience from being in Italy for a month and drinking all kinds of beer, they all suck.
Really?
Not a beer. Yeah, we were just talking about this. Like, the wine's great, right? But we were talking about how in the cities that we had visited, I was like, I noticed there wasn't like a brewery anywhere that you could like go sit at, like a Stone Brewery or something.
I mean, granted, we also spend the majority of the time where my parents live, and they are in a town of 390 people. There are 2 bars. Everybody's very like...
There's 2 bars for 390 people?
Yeah.
That's so many.
It's also the coffee shop and the pizzeria. Both of those bars. Both of those they're
the bars in Italy, they serve you breakfast. You go there for coffee in the morning and the pastry stuff, and then
it's kind of funny. Like at night, it's like a nightclub, but there's just like the espresso machines there. Like, you just feel like you're in a breakfast place and like.
Can I get a croissant?
Can I get a croissant? Oops, yeah, I dropped it, babe.
But yeah, it's like that beer culture isn't there.
What I'm saying is, in the area where we were, there aren't breweries and stuff. But in Sardinia, everybody's like, if you're from Sardinia, you drink Ignusa. Ignusa is the Sardinian.
It's like the Coors Light.
Is the Sardinian beer. It's the only one you drink.
Was it like brewed and like grown and everything in Sardinia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe like in the last 7 years they sold it to a bigger company like Peroni.
I think they sold it to Indev.
Oh no, Heineken.
Actually. That's right. Heineken.
I think Heineken bought it.
Heineken.
But I think they still produce it in Sardinia.
Yeah, we saw the factory. We drove by the factory.
But yeah, the point is, in Sardinia there is no beer culture because everybody drink Ignusa.
And it tastes like Heineken mixed with Coors Light mixed with Sapporo. It is not good. It is not good.
The King's Cup of all beers mixed.
It tastes a lot like Sapporo, honestly. It's not very good.
I don't like beer.
Well, we've spent 30 plus minutes on beer.
Yeah.
You had put on the topics you want to talk about. Sorry, girls, you're getting real estate stuff going on. Syndication. I'm guessing you meant syndication.
Yeah.
And so you want to talk about that. So what do you mean by syndication, and what do you want to talk about?
Did I add that? I think we talked about it a little bit on the phone the other day, and I bet you added that.
Okay. I don't know what the heck it means, so
I don't even see that on our topics list. You're pulling that out of thin air, man. You're good. Good memory.
It's on the set list.
Oh, got it. Syndication, beer, and protein.
You want to skip syndications because neither of us know what the heck's going on?
Yeah. You guys want to learn some boring shit?
This isn't boring.
So, a syndication in real estate is when an investor an active investor puts together a deal. Usually it's purchasing a stabilized asset, like let's say a 20-unit apartment building for $1 million. They don't have $1 million, so they get 10 people together to all put $100,000 in to buy this thing in cash with a 5-year exit strategy plan. So within 5 years, they're going to refinance and pay everybody back, or they're going to sell it, pay everybody back with profit. So that's a very elementary nutshell version of it. But there's different types of syndications too. It's not just always that small. You can have like Grant Cardone does syndications of, $500 million on a 1,000-unit apartment complex that has a ton of retail and a mall in it. So they're of all different sizes. You can even do a flip as a syndication on a single family home. So
is this like so I know there's REITs, real estate investment trusts. It sounds like it's kind of similar. Is that a type of syndication?
That a REIT, from what I understand, is more like you're buying shares, almost like it's a fund, like an index.
And the REIT will hold multiple different properties in it. So a syndication is multiple people, one property. A REIT is multiple people, multiple properties.
Yeah, and I think with a REIT, I could be wrong about this, but I think you can buy shares and then kind of exit at any time. Kind of like a stock market that is backed by
like buying into a mutual fund.
Right. And instead of like mutual funds are backed by stocks, right? By business shares, whereas a REIT is backed by actual real estate assets.
Can I add two little things? I think that, at least from my understanding, 2 main points of syndication is like of a legit syndication. The first thing is they're highly regulated.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are a lot of rules. It's not just, oh, I'll just do a syndication. No, highly regulated, a lot of paperwork. Like there are laws that regulates this syndication. And then the second thing is you need to be an accredited investor. If you have $50,000, you can now go and just say, "Oh, I'll give you my $50,000 and I'll be part of the syndication." Usually, you need to be an accredited investor.
Yeah, Elena's talking about
In
like
order
the
to
example.
join, in order to join the syndication, you have to be an accredited investor.
Well, there's two main types of syndications. One is the one she's talking about, where you have to be an accredited investor, and the other is you don't you can do a syndication without SEC intervention, as long as you know the investors firsthand. You've had coffee with them. It's your uncle. You're in the same Facebook group with investors, and you've chatted on there, and you can show a screenshot of like they commented on your post, like. So, there's those are the two main kind of types, and so the accredited investor requirements. That's if you have. There's all kinds of stipulations, and I don't want to be quoted here, but it's kind of like if you need more than 10 people, you have to then be the investment. The syndication needs to be SEC compliant, which means accredited investors.
When would you use this?
When you're trying to buy something you can't afford, like a
Yeah.
100-unit apartment building with
Yeah.
a mall attached to it.
Oh, okay.
So there are guys that like this is all they do. They aren't a realtor. They aren't like they don't buy duplexes. What they do is they find a giant apartment complex. It's $5 million, $6 million, and they go in on it as there's two main types of investors on each deal. You have the GP, the general partner, who is the person running the deal, who finds it, gets it under contract, and then solicits investors. And then those investors that get solicited, they're just giving money. They're not actually doing any work. Those are called limited partners or LPs. So the general partner, the GP, is the guy running the show who is coordinating all the investors, keeping them updated on the progress, actually distributing, the earnings, the dividends, the payouts, the disbursements, whatever it is, during the investment. And so the best person to be is the LP, because you don't have to do anything. You just give $100,000, and then you get $5,000 a month for 5 years, and then you get your $100,000 back. Or with appreciation, maybe you get 150 back. Depending on the deal.
It also, it depends on like the exit strategy. Because if it's just you remove yourself from the syndication, they haven't sold or cashed out or anything, probably wouldn't get any appreciation.
Yeah. Usually it's like a 5-year exit plan, and they do improvement. The GP will manage a contractor doing improvements so that they can force equity into the deal, or they're banking on appreciation, or they're just going to sell it for exactly what they paid for it. And, everybody just kind of got to share in the cash flow. So the GP sometimes doesn't bring any money to the deal. But a syndication where the GP is bringing money to the deal, it shows skin in the game, and it shows that they believe in the investment as well. So,
any comments, Nicole?
Sounds great.
This reminds me, I ran into my first net listing this week. So I remember studying about it in my test. And when you're studying for your real estate license, do you remember reading about net listings?
No, what is that?
Okay, so a net listing, Nova, is so if you go to a seller and they want to sell their house and it's not in shape to sell or not ready to go to market, needs to be fixed up. Say, well, if you could give me $800,000 for this house right now, I'll take it. And the real estate agent thinks they can sell it for $900,000, and they say, okay, well, I'll do a net listing. I'll give you your $800,000, but let me do the marketing and stuff that I want to do for this. And I make everything above $800,000 as my commission. And if I sell it for less than $800,000, I make nothing. And so that's what they do. And so for this one, it was a lot more complicated, where they had gotten a power of attorney from the current owners to do a bunch of renovations. They added an ADU, redid everything from floor to ceilings, windows, and everything. And so they bought the house for $850,000. Well, they didn't buy it. They got it under contract for $815,000 and do a net listing, power of attorney to do all these constructions. And now they're selling it for $1.5 million. but the investor and the real estate agent were the same person. So they invested all the money to do these renovations. So they put in like $400,000 to do this, and they're going to make, net $250,000 when this property sells. But I had heard about net listings, and I'd never seen one happen in my 9 years of doing mortgages, and now I ran into one. So it's kind of cool.
That's wild. So I see those in Idaho all the time, but I've never seen a realtor do it. I only see wholesalers do it, and it's called a novation. The exact process that you just said, which is get it under, you promise a number, and you say, I'm going to renovate it though, and I'm going to sell it for more. So it's, the example is, hey, Mr. Seller, you want 800. If you go sell this as is, you're only going to get 750. So I'll give you 800 with like a, 120 day closing, but I'm going to put 25K into renovating it. And whatever we sell it for over 800, I get to keep. So right. It's a win-win. It's like, I'm going to renovate your place and sell it for more. You're going to get more than if you sell it as is. So in Idaho, you don't even need a real estate license to do that. The company I was working at before, when the market tanked, those were the only deals we were even getting.
But then, like when you sell it, do you just do like a for sale by owner?
No, we would partner with an agent to get it on the MLS.
And then the agent makes their 3% on the sale price, right?
Yeah, and shocker, the agent was always the wife of the guy who owned the company, the wholesale company. So, so he could kind of make money twice there.
Interesting. Okay. So novations and net listings are similar. Got it.
Yeah, it sounds like the only differentiator is that a net listing is an agent does it.
Right.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
And so I guess, does a novation kind of imply that there is renovations done?
Yeah.
Okay. So a net listing doesn't have to be any renovations done. It's just it's a negotiation tactic. So you tell a seller, hey, I think I can, if you want 800, but I think I can get 900 for it, get under contract. If I sell it for less than 800, I'm not making anything. Then you go out and sell it for 900, you make $100,000. It's just a negotiation.
I can see that working really well for those types of people who are like, I don't like agents. I don't want to pay any fees. I want my 800. Oh, yep. Okay. Well, I can get 9, but since you don't want to give me 3%, I'll take 100,000 instead of 20.
I think a lot of people don't do it because, if that all goes through and goes down, the seller would look back and say, that was a really bad deal. You ripped me off. It would probably end in a lawsuit. But it's like, you signed the contract and this was the deal we negotiated. So I would think it'd be a little bit risky to do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. They the seller would lose in court on that because it's all a contract and you offered them the 3% fee first.
Right. But it would for sure be on the local news.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if that happens here. There's a ton of houses that go on the market that shouldn't be on the market. They need renovations, and I wonder if maybe that's just not legal here to do.
I guess it's true. Yeah, all my stuff was California specific.
I'm gonna ask some people.
All right, so we got a few minutes left. You had recommended to me to read this listen to this podcast about protein. You want to give me a 5-minute on what the takeaways were?
Oh, dude, no, not at all. I listened to it and I was like, this is way too sciencey for me. I'm not following this at all. But there was one moment that they were talking about something that you and I had, and I didn't even understand it at the end of it if they agreed with us or not. But they were referencing the one, like, whatever your goal weight is, you should, if say your goal is 170 pounds. Then you should eat 170 grams of protein.
Right.
And at the end of it, he was kind of saying you don't need to eat that much technically, depending on what your activity level is. And he talked about how to calculate that a little bit, but I couldn't quite follow, man. It was too sciencey. So I was honestly hoping that you were going to understand it.
I have not listened to it yet, no. But I mean, the last thing that I learned about protein intake that I thought was really interesting was, I think I told you about this, that they previously thought that like the maximum amount of protein you can consume in one meal was like 20 to 25 grams. Mm-hmm. And then they did this study where like they said, okay, we're going to have one group have 20 to 25 grams. We're going to have one group have 50 grams. We're going to have one group that has like 100 grams of protein right afterwards. And what they saw was a direct correlation to how many grams of protein and muscle growth. So, I mean, in 100 it is, 3 times the amount that they previously thought was the maximum. So like if 100 had a direct correlation, it didn't like start to top off or anything. The results of the study was that there is no limit to the max amount of protein you can have after a meal that will result in muscle growth.
Okay, so that reminds, they did talk about that study actually.
Okay,
and I did grasp one fact from, or one opinion of his from it was he said he agreed with what you just said, and then he also said that another way to kind of maximize your protein use of whatever you eat is that if you eat protein before your workout and right before and right after, that is like the best way to retain the most protein and grow muscle. That was the most effective. And he was saying that like pre-workouts and caffeine and all this stuff, it's basically placebo. The effect is all placebo. Like it doesn't matter. Caffeine.
It's a quick hit of energy. I don't think there's any there's no muscle growth thing to it. It's just supposed to, because I know like there's weightlifters who will they'll eat candy when they're at like a big testing thing or something, because it gives them a short burst of energy to be able to continue and have the mental focus or like the energy to go through their next lift. But I think that's all it is. And I don't think it has anything to do with actually creating muscle. I think it's just a mental thing to get you through the workout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he was saying that that's like almost 100% mental. That it's not like the caffeine itself actually gives you the boost. It's like he was saying, even Red Bull, they make it taste bad. Like Red Bull is designed to not taste good, because mentally when you taste something bad like that, you think, they just couldn't make it taste good because they were prioritizing the energy boost. So then you get the energy boost.
That's crazy. That's wild marketing.
Yeah.
So Red Bull could taste like Skittles and they just chose not to.
That's what he was saying. Yeah.
For the record, I don't take any pre-workout.
He was saying that those pre-workouts like Jolt or whatever it's called, Jacked. He was saying that was studied as well, and it had the same effect as like 1 cup of coffee. And he's like, so why spend $7 for a bottle of Jacked?
Gross.
Yeah.
It's all placebo effect.
Well, then why do people feel like jittery and like
It's just because it's caffeine. I mean, I feel that same way when I drink a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So it's just a different form of caffeine.
Yeah, that podcast, Chris Williams and like Joe Rogan are kind of like on my top of my list right now. They're just having really interesting guests, and they're both kind of open minded to both sides. So I like what those guys who those guys bring on.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, solid pod today. Way to go, girls, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Can't believe the Italian was the only one who got it right after all us Americans.
Coors Light.
All right, signing off. Love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
See you, Miss T. Love you, Miss T. Later.
Bye.